If recent rumors are to believe, this major iPhone, as well as a couple others, aren't going to be getting iOS 17. What's new, everybody? It is Andrew here from AppleInsider. In this video, I'm going to tell you what phones are rumored to not get support for iOS 17 when it launches later here in 2023. But first, let's talk about what are the big new features that are expected inside of iOS 17. Apple is likely to include hundreds of new features and changes inside of iOS 17, but there are four big ones that are currently getting people the most excited. First, it's rumored that Apple is testing active widgets, ones that are reactive, live updating, and can show stuff in the background. Things just like a weather app where there's like active weather moving behind it, or maybe a HomeKit widget for your smart home that'll actively show the state of your home and allow you to interact with the widget to control your accessories without ever having to jump into an application. You can also do things like have calculators, play mini games, all from widgets without having to launch individual apps. Another exciting new feature for iOS 17 is rumored to be a revamped control center that is even more powerful. Speaking of things that are getting more powerful, it's rumored that Apple really wants to dig deeper into the dynamic island of the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max and the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max. Basically, Apple was kind of overwhelmed with how much people love the dynamic island. So with iOS 17, Apple wants to make it even more powerful and do more things and more interactive, and basically really lean into this unique feature that people have been loving. Finally, it sounds like Apple is going to release another first-party application. This app will be called Journal, Apple Journal, journaling, something along those lines, but basically Sherlocking a lot of apps that are available in the App Store. But what's unique about Apple is they're able to tie into a lot of Apple services. So they'll be able to do things like combine a synopsis of your day without you having to do anything. It can log that you went for a walk, and you went for the walk in a park in Cuyahoga Falls. It knows that Megan was with you on that walk. It knows that you went over to Ignite Trivia or Ignite Brewing and played some trivia that night, and you were joined by John, Kathy, Alex, and whoever else may have been with you. It's able to pull all these things together from things like the Activities application. It'll be able to see the Bluetooth of people who are in your friends list and put their information into your day and just combine all this together. So you can look back on a day, and before you've even written a word, you can see where you've gone and what you did, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a third-party API that allows you to do things like log food, and that can get pulled into this journaling application. I think there's a lot of promise here that only Apple can do thanks to its deep ties into the iOS ecosystem. So now that we've covered kind of the big things that are coming in iOS 17, what devices are going to be supported and which ones won't? Now, they're competing rumors, but basically there's two kind of rules of thumb here. First, Apple generally keeps support for iOS updates for around 5 years for the big new updates. So after about 5 years, they kill off support. But the thing is, we also have conflicting rumors. Some rumors say that Apple will be killing off support for 3 devices, and another rumor says Apple will keep the same devices that are supported on iOS 16. If the rumors are true and Apple sticks to tradition, Apple could be killing support for iPhone 8, iPhone 8 Plus, and the iPhone 10. iPhone 10 was a major new phone for Apple. It kind of stood out alongside the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus. The first kind of really premium iPhone that Apple made on its own. Had things like that really awesome portrait camera on the back. It had Face ID on the front. A lot of innovations that Apple is still using to this day with that edge-to-edge screen. No home button. It was a revolutionary device. This would be a big deal if Apple finally killed off support for it with iOS 17. There's obviously a lot of times for things to change by this fall. Apple is set to introduce iOS 17 as well as other software updates on June 5th at WWDC 2023. Apple released the first beta of iOS 17 to developers, and about a month later we should see the first public beta of iOS 17, and Apple released iOS 17 publicly this fall, likely in September, alongside a new slate of iPhones. So what do you guys think? Do you think Apple will drop support for the iPhone 10 as well as iPhone 8 and 8 Plus? Let me know down below in the comments or on Twitter at Andrew_OSU. And what new features do you want to see inside of iOS 17? Always stay tuned. I got a lot more videos coming your way.